Ladies and gentlemen, and like this, it's Friday again. You are tuned into the fourth episode of On the Record with Floris Steenkamp, and it is aired on the Atlantic Gazette TV every Tuesday and every Friday. Today we are looking at a very interesting yet disturbing situation in Walvis Bay, something that's actually not confined to Walvis Bay only, but actually something one can make applicable to and that countrywide. And that is, do we really need national debates like this? Civil war hits SWAPO company. This platform is not for politics. This platform is not for anti-politics. We are not campaigning. We are independent, and our voice matters in terms of neutrality. Let's look at the following situation. Unpaid wages. Medical aid not paid. Pension fund contributions not paid over to the pension fund. PAYE 5 not paid over to the receiver of revenue, or then NAMRA. Social security not paid over. Viewers, this is the harsh reality at Hodago Fishing, one of the SWAPO-owned companies by virtue of the GenDev Group, GenDev of Namibia Group, who is currently in dire financial straits, along with GenDev itself, or the GenDev Group, also in dire financial straits. Now we all know that these companies were recently handed I would want to say the lifebuoy, if we speak about the fishing industry, the lifebuoy. So much so that the 200 isobaths of our ocean has been reduced to 150 isobaths for these companies, or the wet fish pelagic companies, to venture into shallower water to be able to catch fish. Now my question on this issue is very simple. Why must these SWAPO companies get bailouts in terms of the isobaths reduced? We know that fish spawns and grows within the 200-meter isobaths. Now we are moving these companies as trawlers into shallower waters to target the fish that's actually our future. Now we know, it is general knowledge, that Namibia's president Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah took the side of the scientists who said we should not break the 200 isobaths and reduce it to the 150. Yet Namibia's cabinet, for their reasons, I'm not a member of cabinet, and they are definitely not taking my advice. So for their reasons, they decided to override everything, override the scientific findings, the warnings from our scientists, and they decided to reduce it. Yet now we know that this is only to benefit a few. But now I want to add to this, what's new in Namibia? Let's look at Namibia's fishing industry. It's always the old familiar faces. Since independence, there are only a few familiar faces running and ruling this fishing industry. They are connected to the ruling party. People in the ruling party are running fishing companies, and unfortunately running it into the ground. And that at the expense of who? The fishermen, the fishermen's families, and eventually also the local economies of our towns, in this case Walvis Bay. There's an old saying that says, when the bulls are sparring, the grass gets trampled. And in this case, I think this is exactly what's happening. And what's also disturbing is that apart from the old familiar faces, there's also the old familiar countries that are always featuring. We are speaking about Angola. Let's recap. Wasn't it Angola where the fish rot saga began? Let's speak about a recent incident. Was it not an Angolan registered fishing vessel that was intercepted by our Navy recently with 18 Chinese, with 4 Chinese crew members aboard and 18 Angolans? So what's going on? It's time that we as Namibians start to ask grassroots questions, not questions to say that we want to be anti-political parties or apolitical, doesn't matter. I think it's just fair that we start to ask these questions. Why is it important that we ask these questions? Number one, let's get the rot out of the fishing industry. The time has come for more people to take part in the fishing industry, to reap the financial benefits, and not only a few. I'm not going to mention names, but let's look at the recent, not so fairly recent, but the 10,000 tons pilchard quota. Who received it? Through what company was it received? As I said, I'm not here to try and uncover mysteries or anything. This is not the reason for this platform. This platform is to make you aware. This platform is to speak about things without condemning people and trying to be an investigative platform where people need to fear when we are around. We are just asking questions. Bringing it back to where I started. Why is it important that we ask you these questions? Very soon, that will not only be fish. We are speaking about oil from a couple of years from now. Yes, that is actually a matter on its own. But what's going to happen with our oil industry, offshore oil industry? Is it also only going to be meant for a privileged few? I don't know. Our mining potential is growing. There's hardly a month going past that we discover new resources, new natural resources under our earth in Namibia. And where will we ever benefit from this? The people of Namibia ever benefit from this if it's only controlled by a few? So this is, once again, why I'm asking, do we need this type of national debate on our newspaper front pages? And by the way, probably the best newspaper to look at when you look at investigative journalism. These guys, our colleagues, they are working hard, they know what they do. So it actually pays off to read the Namibian and to read what they are doing. To basically close off this contribution on this Friday, one should ask yourself, why would you refer to SWAPO companies? What is SWAPO? SWAPO is a political party. That's exactly what they were fighting for several decades, to emancipate this country from economic oppression. Yet, they just continue with this to have a few people with a grip or a throttle hold on our economy. The question needs to be asked, why must political parties, why must politicians be involved in business? If they want to be in business, get out of politics, run your businesses. Because if you don't run your businesses, that's where it starts with wages unpaid, medical aid unpaid, PAYE unpaid, our tax money not paid over, social security not paid over. Your focus must be either on politics or in business. You can't have both. We all know that. Just ask our grandmothers, our grandfathers. Just ask them. There's the old saying that says, rather one bird in the hand than a few in the bush. So that's where our country needs to get critical and say, you're either in politics, you're either a minister running this country, or you're in business. But if you're in business, you can't run a country because your focus is not there. When you're at your business in terms of a ministry doing your work as a government official or a municipal official or a regional council official, you need your attention on your work and to see that you do what you are paid for and not have your attention distracted by business interests, etc. Because eventually we're all human. You can't focus on too many things at the same time. This is all I wanted to say. I wish you all a peaceful and a relaxing weekend. And we will be speaking again on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And before I leave you, or let you go as the national audience is always here, just an update. On Tuesday we spoke about air pollution, more specifically the Walvis Bay State Hospital incinerator here in Walvis Bay, and then also the continued air pollution at the waste disposal site or the landfill. We got the information on, excuse me, and you can also read more on the Atlantic Gazette's Facebook page and later today on our website, that Cabinet decided to slack the lines of the Dorp National Park and also the Namib Park to pave the way for a process that the part of the Dorp National Park that's currently occupied by the Walvis Bay landfill site, yes, due to an oversight by certain government or certain municipal officials that are also too busy with their private affairs, that they slip up with their work. In this case, they slipped up to see but the waste disposal site or the landfill has encroached onto the Dorp National Park. But hey, who cares? Running a business from his office or her office and putting their job or their function or their responsibility for which they are getting paid, for which they are contractually obliged to serve the people of Walvis Bay. Don't mind, never mind, that's not important. So, yes, just want a word of warning. We will not see this landfill saga disappearing overnight. As you will see from my report on the Atlantic Gazette Facebook page and later today on our website, that there's a legal process that needs to be followed now. First of all, the ministers notice that they will be alienating a part of the park to make way for our landfill site, to incorporate that into as part of the Walvis Bay townlands, and then obviously the official gazette. Namibia is a democratic state or a democratic republic. We work with laws. The law is always first, and then we come second. Thank you so much. This is all I wanted to say. Have a splendid weekend.